start with an opening statement from Coach, then open up to questions. Coach, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, just another gritty night in the ACC. You know, these guys came at us. They could play with better spacing. We had prepared for 0 all week, and then she didn't play, and so we had to really adjust on the fly, knowing that they were going to play with kind of a lot more spacing. That's too loud. Also, we didn't shoot very well, right? It's pretty remarkable how poorly we shot, and we were still able to find a win, in part because of Raniah here. We took care of the basketball, though, and the ball moved, right? We had 8 guys who took 7 or more shots, so we were able to kind of get out of it. We got a little tight over the last couple weeks, and I think we're starting to loosen up, and these guys showed a lot of endurance and toughness.
Courtney, given the start of ACC play, and especially that second half, how important was that second half, pulling away, getting the victory tonight, given the stretch you're in?
Yeah, the third quarter has kind of hurt us so far, you know, as we've been kind of early in our ACC season, and so that was a priority for us to come out and play better in the third quarter, and they did that, obviously. You know, it's amazing how, you look at someone like Reniya. Like, it's easy to say, oh, what's wrong? Like, nothing's wrong. We're getting better, right? We got a young team that we obviously missed a lot of free throws to hurt us, which is kind of a sign from above that we had to get better at some things. And then we just didn't play well enough against Notre Dame. But nothing's wrong. We're just on our journey, and really glad that these guys finally continue to see the growth that we're seeing.
Courtney, you talked about Raniah and her impact today.
She's the best.
Could you discuss a little bit more just about kind of the work that she's put in and what you were seeing from her today, but also kind of leading up to this?
Yeah, I mean, I just told her, I think watching her walk the court after games brings a lot of joy to my heart, because this place loves her, we love her, and she's, you know, it's never been about her, it's about winning. And there are some people who kind of say, oh, Raniah's back. Like, she never left. Let's be really clear on that, right? She had to be sidelined for a little longer than we would have liked, and so instead of practicing, she wanted to be with our team in games. So she's starting to find her rhythm, you know, which is great, because she's been leading our team even as she's kind of been in a bit of a shooting slump. So, you know, she's the best. So watching her walk Carmichael will always make me happy.
Both teams shot around 25% from the three, but how do you evaluate your three specifically, and what can you take from that tonight? And Raniah, you played a huge part in that yourself, so what do you think when you're looking at those stats?
I love it. You know, we should take that many threes. We're a really good three-point shooting team. I mean, up until recently, or maybe we still are the best three-point shooting team in the league, we just didn't make them. We don't take contested threes, so these are open shots that the team earned with our ball movement, which is why when you look at the shot distribution, it's really diverse, right? If the ball moves, then we have opportunities to play out of closeouts. So I'm confident we'll shoot better. You know, I'll let the math on that, but yeah, having Raniah go in certainly helps the percentage a little bit.
Raniah, we have a lot of questions.
Of course, please.
You know, your coach just thoughts about some of the injuries you've gone through. So given that, you know, what is a night like, does this make a night like this mean even more to you, just given some of the adversity you faced?
You know, it's really not all about the scoring. So even if we scored 6 points or 7 points, it really doesn't matter as long as we got the win. And so I'm just proud of the team and, you know, what we did tonight. So, I mean, you know, injury is an injury, but I'm still enduring and still pushing through and, you know, progressing each game. So,
going off of that a little bit, Raniah, what kind of work have you put in kind of leading up to this, and also
kind of work, a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, coming from injuries, you know, each summer, like, it's a lot of work you have to put in. And so, you know, coach has trusted me, my teammates has trusted me, you know, the sports performance has trusted me, and so I'm here. And, you know, I'm just trying to win every game. Like, that's the main goal. I'm not trying to look at scoring, whatever it is. Like, I'm trying to win each game, and that's what I'm going to push to do.
Raniah, was a career high for you tonight. 16 points at halftime, started 4 for 4. At what point did you know this was going to be a big night for you scoring?
You know, you really never know. You just got to keep shooting. Like, seriously, you have to keep shooting. And so that's what I did, you know. So I have to keep finding my touch, keep finding the openings for myself, and that's what I did tonight.
You ever feel like you took a heat check tonight, or everything was just in rhythm?
In rhythm, because I literally practiced those shots. Like, every shot I took tonight, I practiced those. And so I was in rhythm.
Courtney, you mentioned the third quarter a little bit. Back to that, I think there was a 9-0 run at the beginning and an 8-0 run at the end. What do you kind of attribute that to?
You know, I said to the team to start the week, it's like, I've been saying this to them, right, that the most dangerous team is the team that keeps getting better. right? And so we're just going to keep getting better. We know from an experience standpoint, we've got a lot of new pieces. And so now we're, 6 games in, I think, to the ACC season. Like, if we worry about just getting better, we'll like where it is at the end. And then also you can't be stood on if you're not lying down. And this team didn't lie down, right? And so we talked about the third quarter being an area where we felt like at times we kind of lie down and let people stomp on us. And it shows the level of trust when that they have for each other when the growth they've made, I should say, week to week, regardless of result. Really, it's a lot of teams. I've been doing this a long time. Get better, especially when things are going well. This is a group that's obviously we're as competitive as can be. The results matter, but we are really locked into getting better, and we're going to focus on that and then see how it all plays out in the end.
Seemed like this isn't really a new storyline, but India just doing a lot of dirty work and little things in between scoring. Did you notice that tonight?
For sure, yeah. I thought she really fought tonight. And again, I think as our offense continues to mature, she's going to find more openings and will show off her passing and her shooting and her confidence. And so, in part, how we didn't play well on Sunday, it kind of hurt everybody, right? Because it was like that just wasn't us, so it's hard to even learn from it. You're just like, what was that, right? But she's really important to what we're doing. She and Nyla Harris both, as our seniors. Seniors are really valuable in this league, and I thought R2, even though Nyla's doesn't show up on the stat sheet, I thought she was just huge tonight. So both of our seniors were great.
You forced 12 turnovers and you turned it into 12 points. How important was your defense tonight in helping you in this game?
Yeah, especially when you shoot as poorly as we did, that was an important part of it. And we felt like we haven't defended and rebounded as well over the last couple weeks that we had wanted. I felt like we were really bad in the summer and then got a lot better. And then we kind of plateaued, and then we even actually took a step back, right? And so we're kind of rebuilding in a way how hard we have to play and how accountable we have to be. And I thought our group, again, they're just, it's nice to see them, it's nice to see their work pay off, because I feel like we have gotten better, and it hasn't always shown on the scoreboard, unfortunately. But yeah, defensively, I'm more proud that we didn't turn it over. We've been really careless with the basketball. We've had over 15 turnovers, too many games in the ACC season. We did a much better job with ball control, which gives us more shots than our opponent. And with how we shoot it, that should lead to more points, right? So it's kind of a basic math equation, but the math equation has worked in our favor tonight.
Coach, can you tell us about Taisha, like how she played today? Like she had a pretty productive game off the bench.
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked about her. Gosh, what a great kid. I mean, look at Reniah's response about her. Like, she's just the best kid. She's very vocal. She's here working on her game all the time. She's a lot like Raniah. Literally, all she wants to do is win. So if you need her to guard, you need her to run, you need her to rebound, you need her to move the ball, it doesn't matter. She just wants to win. And so she was huge tonight. 5 for 7 with 6 boards, 10 points. I mean, she was absolutely huge. And we see it in practice every day. She's a freshman, so she's young, but she continues to be really accountable. She's really reliable.
Courtney, you stopped a 2-game losing streak, and with tonight's win, what do you see over the next 3-game stretch for momentum on your team?
Luckily we're back on tomorrow, and then we got Saturday, and then we go play a Florida State team on the road, right? And so we have to focus on one game at a time and our progress. I think last year's team was really different because there was so much experience. So you're tweaking a little bit by little. This team, although at times it makes you turn gray, at times, you get to see the growth so much more because they do get better week to week. So I'm not going to worry about 3 games. I'm going to worry about Florida State, and that will happen tonight. And that by 2 o'clock tomorrow, these guys will have the scout in their hands and ready to get to the next point.
So about Florida State, what kind of challenges do they give you to on the floor?
Well, I'll be honest. I've only watched them as a fan, as a fan of ACC basketball, which is like different when I'm standing at my computer, right, and I'm able to really pick on strengths and weaknesses. So, I'll know a lot more by Friday. I'm not smart enough to have teams really dialed in multiple at a time. So this team took. I just said, so it was Coach Corey's scout, and I just told him I need a break from him, right? Whoever scout it is, it's like you spend so much time with them. So I need him to get away now, and I need to get to the next guy, to the next scout. And so I'm not able to really answer that question, not out of laziness, but more out of, I will be able to answer it really well by 2 o'clock tomorrow.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Coach or Raniah? Great, thank you everyone.
Thanks, guys.